Stampede went into toward paddock and up towards it.
Well, hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here at Alton Water. We've been here before. This is where I shoe the Harley Davidson when I first got it, when I done the sort of review. Guy there with shorts on, he's now going to do the 12-mile run all the way around. Get himself fit. Nah, he'd probably get himself a couple of 3 more years in an old folks home having his arse wiped by a nurse, but yeah, off you go, mate. Very sceptical, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah, so where was I? Do you know, I just realised as well, I was looking on my bike and that says Monster Energy Grand Prix de France 13, 14, 15 for 2011, and I thought to myself, it's bloody 5 years ago. It was the first time I ever went to Le Mans and watched the Grand Prix, and I didn't go last year because my Mrs. P hasn't been very well, so she couldn't do the journey, so I thought I can't leave the poor old girl at home, so I never went. That was the first time last year, so yeah, 5 years, bloody hell, unbelievable. Right, it's probably the most bitterest day I've been out on a bike this year. It's absolutely freezing. So I'm going to make myself. I'm going to make my way back to Ipswich now. I'm, I don't know, 5 miles from Ipswich. Won't take long because it's too damn bloody cold even for me. So anyway, let's get off here. Yeah, I've been watching some vlogs on the Matlock Bath protest. What a turnout! What a turnout! There must have been 3,000 to 4,000 bikes there. People come from miles to protest on that one. I've got to take my hat off to them. Tell you the truth, I never even knew about it. But there again, from here to there, I'd have been on the bike all day and all night. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with that. Let's hope they take note and do something about it, because it seems crazy to me that if bikers are using the town and they're spending money there and bringing money into the economy, why would you want to stop that? Why would you want to charge that? Unless you're just a greedy bastard and you think that you can cash in and make money, you know, being too greedy. But the point is, the only people who are going to suffer are the traders and the people who live there, and you know, it's just bloody nonsensical. But to say that you can only park there at certain times or go in there at certain times on a bike, I think, and you've got to pay 50 pence and you can only stay 2 hours and stuff like this, it's absolutely crazy. Where do these people actually come from? These people who sort of do this, you know. I know they're so-called councillors, you know. Yeah, I can go. So-called councillors, you know, they're elected by the people. So I just don't understand how they can actually punish their town, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to restrict access. Yeah, maybe the place is busy. Maybe, yes, it gets overcrowded. But so what? It's bringing business into that community. You know, and that money that brings in must trickle down to other firms and different places and suppliers and stuff like that. The trouble is, I think, with a lot of these like councils and stuff like that, and I'm not going to get into a political rant here, because if I did, I'd go absolutely schizophrenic. But anyway, these councillors and whatever, they're so-called elected by the people to govern their little towns or whatever, and they don't listen, because they were saying a lot of the traders and people like the bikers, they like the interaction with them, and they like the money they bring into the community, you know. But these councillors who are elected by these people don't, because they're not thinking straight. They're just thinking about themselves, and oh, there's nasty bakers coming into my little town. They just fuck it up, don't they, dear? Yes, they do, dear. Yes, they just bugger it up for everybody who likes a nice little pretty town with them awful bikers, you know, those gang members, those sons of anarchy coming into our town and buggering it over. You know, that's how they look at it. They got no idea. They really haven't got an idea. There's a lot of politicians out there, you know, even our top politicians, they've got no idea. They've never lived like us. They've never, you know, put up with some of the crap we have to put up with. You know, they don't. They have got no idea. So I hope it works. I hope it does the trick. I don't know when they're going to know if these things are going to happen or if they're going to go through with it. But the people who live at Matlock Bath have got one thing to do. If they don't agree with it, vote the cretins off. Next time there's an election, all those councillors who voted for it, vote against them. The trouble is, though, at this moment in time, and I'm talking about Britain and America and even Australia and places like that, New Zealand, Canada especially, there's no alternative. You've got no alternative. You've got nobody who's got a clue what it's like to be Mr. Joe Public and Mrs. Joe Public. They've got no idea. They don't live in our world. You know, they're all multi-millionaires, the majority of them. And even if they're not, they earn fantastic money. They get backhanders from friggin' corporates, you know, who pays them money so they can promote their crap on the rest of us. And they've got no idea. So it's about time that we had an alternative. But the point is, it's so loaded up against you, you've got no choice. You know, if I went up the town and said, "Hi everybody, my name's Suffolk Andy, and these are what the things I want to see happen in this country, blah blah blah, on the Cornhill in Ipswich," everybody'd laugh at me and walk past me. Unless you've got millions and millions to start a party up or anything like that, you've got no chance, you know, no chance at all. So it's impossible. The system is loaded, and that is the trouble. That's why people are so frustrated with how things are at the moment. You know, you look at in America and you see this bloke Trump, you know, people are fed up with their system, and he's not part of that system. Even though he's a multi-millionaire, he's not part of the establishment, as they say, or the clique, and that's why people are going for him, because he, you know, he offers something a bit different. And I think that's what we're all after at the moment in our lives, something a little bit different from our political masters. And trust me, they are masters, you know. They really are. Oh, I've got a nice corner coming up here in a minute. It is 20 mile an hour. Here we go. Ooh. 40. Ooh, I love that corner. I think I could have got another 20 out of that. I've done it at 40, it said 20, I've done it at 40. I think I could have got another 20 out of that if I'd have flip-flopped it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's all going. It just seems crazy to me, you know. You know, I'm an old boy now, and I've seen so many things happen and seen so many things, you know, go on in this country, in other countries, and I'm just fucking despair, really, you know. But there you go. I'm not going to go into any political rant. That was probably me just being very, very light on it all. Anyway, I think that's enough from me. Not trying to be too boring with a little bit of political stuff there, but there was the motorbike thing with the Matlock Bath protest, which I thought was fantastic. Anyway, all ride safe, love each other, Suffolk Andy.